I'm Geoffrey on Fist in World of Tanks. These are battles from the second half of November 2024. I was doing physiotherapy. I was trying to regain the function of my right hand. Still playing SPGs, mostly. At least I was playing on this day. And I had left the recording on, so I have a ton of battles from this day. This is a higher tier battle, things tier 9 and tier 10 in Prokhorovka, which I think everyone agrees is one of the best maps that we have in this game. So I very often knock down these houses when I'm playing an SPG, just so I have a clear view in case someone approaches and I'm in those bushes, so I can shoot at him as he's approaching the tree line. That's my rationale. So I have the MX-1357 is taking that position, which is my favorite position when I play with a static light tank. And hopefully he will not shoot, so we will have him spotting us. The enemy team has been very aggressive on the hill, and they've got a heavy tank there, so it's taking out one of our teammates. No, we're taking out the heavy tank, is that so? Okay, that sounds good. Took out someone. Our AMX 1357 is doing a good job. I spotted a couple of tanks. We also had medium one down that way. He didn't do quite as well. I find that recently, maybe, there are, I wouldn't say recently, but there has been a trend over the years to have more and more new players in the higher tiers, I assume, because I played about 3,000 battles at tier 2 before I moved to tier 3. And then when I got to tier 3 and tier 4, I played another thousands of battles. I can't remember how many before I moved on to tier 5. By the time I moved to tier 6, I had 15,000 battles. But I see very often people with just a few hundred battles that have gone straight to tier 8. For example, they bought a premium, or they got a premium as a gift in one of the events. And I don't know if this has been a recent trend, because I've been slowly moving up the tiers. But I was very perplexed when I saw people with just a few hundred battles playing tier 8. And of course, if they're top tier and plus 2 matchmaking, it's a disaster. So I found this map very balanced. I like playing with heavy tanks in this map. I go where this guy is. With mediums, I go up on the hill, and with tank destroyers, of course, I go on the tree line and the the road. Sometimes, very rarely, when I have a TD, if I feel I need to support the mediums, I go where that Foch is. but you don't need more than one sniper there. In a light tank, if I play passively, I go where the MX 1357 has gone. If I have a wheeled vehicle, which I play very, very rarely, I'll be moving up and down the middle of the map. So, and I think there's a role for every tank in this map, which is exceptional. Usually the maps are designed so that people who play heavy tanks decide the game. The others get to contribute something. And since win rates, every team has mediums, every team has TDs or whatever. Win rates are affected by all the tanks. If you're good in the TD and the enemies are not as good, that's okay, you do well. But I still think you can influence battles much more playing a heavy tank. And unfortunately, it's the one type of tank that I don't really like, because it's too much like, that was a good hit, it's too much like first person shooting, that sort of thing. This is very boring for young people, certainly. People who who are not interested in teaming up with others or playing in some sort of organized way. A very selfish sort of thing, and this is what we generally see. In this game. Even when people play other tanks. I contrast this with creative assembly games, where if we play online, 2 or 3 players together, we think, you take that side of the castle and I take this side, or we advance to this side, you have more catapults or artillery, and I'll use some of my cavalry to do this, and we're talking about this. There's nothing like this in this game. There's no strategy. Everyone does go to positions hopefully where they should go, but there's no planning. There's no talking, there's nothing, there's no communication. You just hope they will do the right thing. Every shot takes off about 100 HP from the enemy. Slow progress, but I've also gotten some assist. And assist is an indication of people knowing what to do. They're in the right places, so there's some artillery far from there. They got the right places, so when you shoot someone with an SPG and stand, there's someone there who can, shoot him while he's stand or tracked. But very often I have games where I may have 500, 1,000, 1,500 HP damage from the enemy team, 0 assist. Also games where I've had maybe 50 or 60 HP damage during the battle. Turns out I had more than 1,000, 1,500, whatever, in actual fact, or at least 500, 600 extra. Let's say 1,000 total, depending on what I was doing. It doesn't happen very often, but it shows that the team couldn't spot. Basically, I was either blind shooting with the RT or basically blind shooting. My teammates were spotting by dying, basically. That's what it means. That was close. So there's still a very tight game. I've done quite a bit of harm to the enemy. But it's close, 4v4. And we're probably losing. These random events, they're all there to create extra obstacles, so they favor heavy tanks. They are the only tanks that want obstacles, so they can barricade behind them. It also, this thing that comes down this airplane destroys all the bushes, so I expect that I'm going to die. It destroys all the bushes where they land or they crash. So it definitely favors heavy tank gameplay. And this is where the meta is going in this game. I don't know how much longer you will have the following it has. You know, people come into the game wanting to play World War II tanks, I'm fairly sure. I was hoping it would be a kind of game where we have like Germans fighting Russians. And then in addition to the tanks, maybe some anti-tank guns or some observers, some off-map artillery or whatever, bigger maps with artillery. Okay, we still have one tank left. Don't expect he can do much. But that's not the game we have. It's grown to become a game where we have this multinational, multi-ethnic, multicultural teams of fantasy tanks mainly. The historical tanks are not in the meta. And the proper tanks we get from the progression are all of them worthless now. Except the tier 10, because there are no tier 10 premiums. So about 6th, 7th by damage. No kills. And the point will come, I guess, where tier 9 premiums will be as good as tier 10 sort of normal progression tanks, and eventually even better. I don't know what's going to happen when we get to that point. So top enemy player, only 4,500. He was in a M53 and 55. That's a bit annoying. That rarely happens. Somehow, how could we explain that? Somehow I think our guys didn't have good concealment and we didn't have good spotting. Because really, we should have won if it was up to the SPGs. So, next battle is Iceberg, Norway, Frozen Fleet map. The maps are photorealistic, but extremely bizarre. Very few maps that remotely resemble reality. Prokhorovka is close. When I see photographs from the Eastern Front, what you see is miles of nothingness, of flat nothingness. You know, maybe a farm somewhere. Or a road. It's just a little too late. Okay, it crashed. So we took him out. Can our light tanks win the heavy tank? Yes. Don't mess around with the master, with the one-handed master of SPG gameplay. I'm just kidding. So since I accidentally recorded these battles, I'm going to keep a record of them. Why does he put the rocket boosters if he's just going to go for 20 meters and stop? By mistake. So since I accidentally recorded them, I'm making this video. If you happen to bump into my channel, my new channel, this one, you don't need to watch it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a message. I have some thoughts about the game. And I'm going to record them. And I'm going to share my thoughts. But
come on.
I do not know what's going to happen.
Perfectly aimed shot. Come on.
So somehow I was recorded here saying this was a perfectly aimed shot and I missed. It very often happens. Sometimes it's very bizarre, you know. You totally aim like here, and sometimes the aiming circle contains almost the entire tank, or the entire tank is the size of the circle, and you still miss. And then the enemy, you know, you miss a couple of times, and the enemy just passes by, fires a shot, and takes you out, you know, that sort of thing. And it's so annoying when it happens. RNG, I guess it could happen in reality. Why is this game so appealing? That's a good question. I think a lot of people would have liked to have historical tanks and a more historical context than what we have. The graphics, of course, are absolutely amazing. I think what very often happens is that sometimes you do really well, so you're very happy, so emotionally you're charged. Sometimes you do very badly. Come on. Come on. Where did my shot go? I hit a rock or something. Okay, sometimes you do very badly, and then you think, okay, next time, more like next time, better like next time. Sometimes the battle is tight, but you don't get to contribute. And so there's either a feeling of elation, and you want to repeat that, and you're hoping you're improving and things are going to get better, or otherwise you have some bad results and then you want to try again. Now, I don't play lucky games. You know, I used to be doing some sports, but in sports you're fairly consistent. Sometimes, depending on the training, you may do a little bit better. You think, okay, this training worked. But it's rare that you have these ups and downs, these total losses and total, you know, doing well, doing thousands of damage or something. So I think they may have something to do, because normally you're sort of improving slowly. Was that a kill? I'm still alive. Normally you're improving slowly and consistently. And this game, you know, if you're someone like me who's, you know, who's been doing sports, you think, why didn't we win this time, whatever? But it's not really a team, it's just a bunch of guys we met on a bus station, you know, where, you know, there's no reason why we didn't win. It's not like we're the same team all the time. And conversely, you know, why did we lose? Why did we win? Sorry, why did we win? Yeah, nobody knows why did we win. Sometimes you look at the players, and sometimes our team was better in terms of players, but we lost. I think what might happen in those cases is that the less able guys went to key positions. The better guys thought, okay, they're going to the right places, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to support them or do something else, or rely on them, and then they get the guys who went to the key positions, you think they're covering you, whatever, they're very bad players, and you just lose because you put too much trust, I think. And I see that quite a bit, that, I wonder, can I trust this guy, can I not trust him, or whatever. And people do the weirdest things, like they bump into you or whatever, and then you realize that they don't know what they're doing. But maybe you realize it too late. I think the people who really have fun and are not driven insane are the ones who are in clans where they have the same people that play together. Okay, so we're definitely losing here. It's one of those blowouts. Okay. No hope. So I could probably take him out with a little bit of luck. Can I take him out? Oh, come on. Go somewhere else. Do a mistake. And now, at my age, I'm no longer young, so I cannot really do sports or play in a team or train, be competitive. So I was hoping to have a replacement by playing a game that involves teamwork and strategy. Neither, really, in this game. But it attracts you because I think, okay, I was checking if for the French we get Ikibu having his voice lines, because for some factions, it seems to me, his voice lines get lost. And yeah, with Holiday Ops coming up, we're going to have the opportunity to get some normal mainstream tanks for a reduced price. So I'm looking at commanders at the time, at the moment, or when I was playing. So here the meta now is that the enemy tanks, the enemy team, the red team, from the west, tend to stop in this gap here. And sometimes they make a dash, but very often they just stop. So now my strategy is to get the SPG here, so I have some shots. If they decide to stop, I have shots at them. The maps are so designed that if you play an SPG or a tank destroyer or a sniper, anything like that, it's a very frustrating experience. But as I said, I find playing heavy tanks too childish. I can't play them. It's just too silly. I think when I play heavy tanks, I'm doing okay. terms of win rates, I think I'm doing okay, but I find it very boring. And the other thing is that I checked once which tanks have the highest win rates, which tank class. Now you think there shouldn't be any difference because there are as many heavies in one team as the other, so there's no reason why the heavies will have more wins because the heavies in both teams equal numbers. However, it does happen sometimes that some battles are unbalanced, like there are only a few players, so you get to play some mediums and the other team has more heavies, or more TDs. It's very rare, but it does happen. And I noticed that for some weird reason, heavy tanks had more win rates than mediums, than TDs and lights, and of course SPGs had the lowest win rate, which makes, at first you think it makes no sense. There's just as many SPGs on both teams. Why should I have lower win rates? But you can check it. You can go, counter battery. Okay, shooting my friend. Now you think there shouldn't be so. Why should it be so? But if you check something like one of these sites, Tank GG or Tomato GG or whatever, if you check these websites, is that a kill? Destroyed. Somehow I have a sixth sense when I'm going to kill the enemy now, and if it's going to hit, even if the tank is moving, it's very weird. I have this sixth sense feeling that I'm going to kill someone. Because art is so inaccurate. I don't know what it is. I still have to figure it out, what it is. In any case, if you check win rates, you'll see that there are some heavy tanks that have fantastically high win rates, and SPGs usually have not very high win rates, so you think, why is that so? But also if you check win aid or anything like that, you see that SPGs do consistently badly on all these measures. As a class, not just individual tanks. And since I play heavy tanks as well and do okay, sometimes do very well, and I don't really enjoy it, I play very rarely. I don't think. Okay, someone wants to platoon. No reason. The phase one. Oh God, suicide. Never mind, we're winning. 12-3. What a blowout. So since I'm doing okay in heavies without really trying to play a lot, I think, obviously I'm not as good as someone like Darky or someone. I'm not that level, but I have decent win rates, as good as any ordinary player. People think it's very hard, but it's not. That playing SPG is easy and playing a heavy tank is hard. It's not. It's just as hard as any other tank. It's much harder to try to calculate where your shot is going to go if you play an SPG and you have this curved shots that you don't know, they land, you shoot now and lands like a couple of seconds later. You don't know where it's going to land. To be able to estimate from the movements of the enemy where he's going to be in a few seconds, where your shot is going to land, it's not an easy thing. Let's see if a heavy tank player can do that. It's not so easy. The person who's playing, the enemy, whatever, the enemy tank, doesn't know where he's going to be in a few seconds, how are you going to know? You know, how am I going to know? How is the SPG player going to know where he's going to be when the shot lands? And it's some kind of just an instinct. It's very strange. And it's an instinct that I'm going to kill him or not. I mean the tank, not the person. So many famous tank battles took place in underground basement corridors. These maps are just so frustrating. Unfortunately, there isn't the game that I was hoping for. I don't know how many people would have liked this kind of game. Game which is in some senses like that in terms of each player controlling one tank. Maybe they could control things like off-map artillery or an extra unit like an observer, something like that. But there are some realism in terms of landscape, in terms of, you know, tanks belong to the same nation in some sort of strategic context, not just, oh come on, it's huge. Chimneys in the way. Missed, possibly. He went dark, so it could be that I hit him. And tank destroyers, I was watching a video recently, such as the Mardos, for example, were designed to take out heavy Russian tanks, mainly, from 2 or 3 kilometers away. Here they have to fight, you know, tanks that appear 100 meters away. It's not that it didn't happen historically, but that's not how they were meant to be deployed. Here you have no option. You have no fire lanes that are kilometers. You know, open landscapes for kilometers where you could shoot. You have the fire lane for 2-3 kilometers. Chipping away the enemy little by little. It's even, this looks like, could be a good battle. I don't remember it, we'll have to find out. But it looks fairly balanced. We're 2.5 minutes into the battle. Each team has lost only 2 tanks, so nothing too crazy. That was it. Moved. Okay. Sometimes they do that. Okay, it looks like we're losing now. 3v5, but it can be turned around. I mean, I've seen some amazing turnarounds in this game. Is this game good for something? Like, do you exercise? Oh, got some there. Do you exercise something? Like, do you exercise your skills, your reaction time, something like that? You exercise teamwork. You exercise controlling your temper. I don't know. You could probably do other things. Heat there. When we do other things, the problem really is age. Yeah, I'm not of an age that I can do sports. So my options of playing a team game are very limited. And it's an instinct, I think, to play team games and to want to win a team game. Now, why are the young people attracted to this? I think they're attracted for the very opposite reasons. I think they like to play because they're young, and they're not interested in team play. They want to be the heroes or something, and they want to just kill everyone or whatever. Like it's just some child stories where a hero goes in and kills everybody. And then so they like these first-person shooter games for that reason. Zero teamwork most of the time. So they play this game for completely different. How did that miss? I'm screaming. How did that miss? It was like fully aimed. Oh my god. I recorded myself screaming. It's a hit, but not a kill. I can tell in advance sometimes. I don't know what it is. Just the direction the tank is moving. If they're moving sideways, I'm not sure where I hit, but if they're moving towards me or away from me, sometimes it's fairly certain. Okay, that's not easy. Okay, that wasn't easy, but I got it. So 5-8 looks like the tide of battle has turned against us. We must face this turn of events. Oh man, Artie is here and all our spotters are up on the hill. They're hoping we can spot for them. It's not gonna happen, my friends. It's not gonna happen. That's a hit. Oh, got spotted. Damn. Can I survive this? Oh yeah. Don't shoot me. Oh, bollocks. Come on, this is hopeless. What am I supposed to do?
C'en est assez, on décroche ici.
The siren voice comes when an art shell is heading my way. It used to be for some time in July and August when I was injured. I had it also for spotting, but now I have it only for, when I got spotted, a siren's voice would come on. But now only when I'm gonna get hit by Artie. Regardless of whether I've been spotted or not. So the battle is basically over unless one of our two teammates manages a Kolobanov's medal. We have two basically full health teammates. One of them was sitting on the red line all battle. The other one's been it's been gang banged. It's been gang banged. It's been ganged upon. Okay, so enough of this battle. Leave battle. It's a dead loss. Fairly sure it was a loss. And so here I'm just recording how I'm playing, and I'm moving on to the next battle. That was the end of Battle Pass. So I've used all my Battle Pass points at 28 left. End of November, and changing server, I guess I was frustrated with the gaming experience. Sometimes changing server helps. So what happens is sometimes just for a particular reason, maybe there's a holiday in Eastern Europe or in Central Europe or something like that, and you have a lot more children playing perhaps, or you have a lot more drunk people playing, or there was a holiday yesterday, or some event, St. Patrick's Day or something, and all the Aries are drunk because they were drinking the night before. And you have very erratic results, very up and down results. So when that happens, I try to change the EU server and test my luck, see what happens. So we are switching from playing the French 155-55 to playing the American T78 TD. It's a very inaccurate TD. When the turret rotates, the aiming circle blooms, you know, the size of the moon or the earth or whatever, the size of Jupiter. But I put lots of equipment in this battle. By the end of Battle Pass, I put a lot of equipment on this tank destroyer to reduce the bloom. And you know, this turret skill, whatever it's called, where a sniper, whatever it is, a snapshot thing to increase the effect
in this first ever intergalactic Wimbledon.
To increase the effect of the training. Okay. Oh, now what are you doing? What are you doing, for crying out loud? Jesus. Now, I remember this battle, so I'm going to miss the opportunity. I'm going to miss the opportunity to hit these tanks because this guy, it was just, he didn't know what he was doing. I was so angry. You know, I would have had these tanks. I would have had a lot of tanks. I don't know what this guy was doing. He had a brain clot or something, or a stroke or something. Oh man, this is so frustrating. This is when you really want to have skill-based matchmaking. If any of you may happen to come across my video, knows of a title game where you can play individual tanks, maybe a bit like this, or a variation of this, but one nationality versus one nationality, not these mixed teams, and have some strategic context where you can play with the same teammates again and again, that would be great. I would appreciate your suggestions. Okay, one of our Guys was ammo-racked. He exploded spectacularly. Looks like a potential runaway defeat. The enemy is pushing in the west, and we have no answer for them. We just have two heavies there. They're way too outmatched in terms of numbers, so there's no hope there. And once they break through from the south, the open areas are so exposed. Turning the game around is almost impossible in this map. Okay, lost that one. Heavy tank, we have the Nurgle. Some of these names are weird. The Germans had interesting names like the Grille, which means the cricket, or the Bumblebee, and so on. I mean, you can have names like that. You have names like, I don't know, the Cockroach, or the Grasshopper, or whatever. You can have tank names like that. You don't have to call them the Nurgle if you can't think of something. As I predicted. This is a...
I apologise for that. I think you'll
Landslide
find this
defeat.
a bit more interesting.
bit more interesting. Can't pin him. Oh, already got him. Don't have a shot. I have a shot at him.
Ping!
Oh, got spotted. Oh,
I'll just stay here then,
come
shall I,
on.
sir? Yeah.
Look, let me go back in there and face the peril.
How did they know I was here?
I'm invincible!
Hey, hey, hey. 5:15. That was what I was expecting. I was checking on the players. The guy who bumped into me, I think. Okay, better luck this time. I reckon this would have been a decent map with just a few skyscrapers. You could have some houses or something, but the skyscrapers in the middle of nowhere, where the heavy tanks can fight undisturbed. That's a little bit weird. I mean, in reality,
After a few
if you went into a
moments, I
city
perceived a line of gentlemen with rifles.
like Stalingrad,
They were looking in
that
my
was
direction.
death
I looked
for
around, but
heavy
could not see the
tanks.
target.
Because infantry could just throw some magnetic mines from a window from one of the houses. and or you could they could put them, you can mine the roads or something. I mean, it was a death trap being in the city.
Very good indeed.
In
Quite outstanding.
in a tank. Oh, how was I hit here? Come on, by whom and how? I mean, this is just so frustrating. So with tank destroyers that have turrets, I like to be in the middle of the map, and tank destroyers don't have turrets. I try to have some of my flanks covered, and to expect the enemy from a certain direction. The enemy can't come from anywhere. One thing that I find very frustrating very often is that I'm playing an SPG or a Titleist TD, and some enemy appears on one side, and suddenly everyone runs. They run because they are auto-loaders or something. They want to reload. They want to put APCR or something. Everybody leaves and runs and leaves the SPG or the Titleist TD out, and in the ocean, whatever, in high water, whatever. And if it gets flanked or if it gets spotted, it has no armor, it has no mobility, it can't turn, it's over. I don't think experienced players would do that. And you have to judge your team. Very often say, look, I cannot spot, I'm taking my leave. If you're not willing to spot for the rest of the team, you want to reload your APCR and your autoloader. Okay, here I'm not going to shoot because it's death sentence if I shoot. I'm not going to shoot, I'm just trying to hit him.
How shall we fuck off, oh lord? This is an X-Parrot!
I was double bushed.
Always one, isn't there?
This house is destructible. Just okay, it's gonna collapse. Okay, I got spotted. But we have the advantage. This is a good place. Over here, I rarely get spotted. It's just as good as the position higher up. It's just that it's a bit riskier because you can be shot from the base if they spot you. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. You want to peek. You want to poke. And peek, you poke. Oh, come on. So frustrating. Tiger is very hard to spot. Now you spot him, now there's a shot. Okay, 15-7. Almost landslide victory. And I think that's the end. We may see the results, and that's it. Third class. That's it. Thank you for watching.